Greetings, everyone, and welcome. October the 4th, 2025. And yes, as you can see in the thumbnail, Viktor Orban has dropped a bombshell today. He has been in the middle of a lot of conversations that have been happening in the European Union. And to be quite honest, it's not really surprising, but it's not the best news for Ukraine, and it's not the best news for Russia. Very interesting and selfish perspective. We'll jump right into it and you will hear from Orban yourself. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing, liking, commenting, subscribing. We appreciate each and every one of you. This is key and critical to understand because Hungary and Orban is a key player in relations in the European Union and additionally in that connection with Vladimir Putin, and he also has the connection with Donald Trump. So what did he say? Well, Orban said that the existence of Ukraine as a buffer zone between Hungary and Russia is important. It is good that there is a territory between Hungary and Russia, which is now called Ukraine. The existence of Ukraine serves Hungary's strategic interest. Now, I do not know that language, but I have it voiced over for you here, translated. Here it is. This is Orban saying it himself.
So it's good that between Hungary and Russia, there's an area now called Ukraine. It's Hungary's strategic interest for Ukraine to exist. So this isn't a geopolitical viewpoint. One could argue for it from world peace and European security perspectives. But from Hungary's national interest, I say Ukraine's existence is in Hungary's interest.
Now, why is he saying that? Because, you know, so many times we hear, oh, Orban's all for Putin. Orban's all for Putin. Listen, Orban is for Orban. Probably the best thing we'll learn in this update. Orban and Donald Trump run in the same river. Okay, he's been invited to speak at events. Orban is the most intelligent guy in all of Europe, Donald Trump has stated in the past. Orban cares about Orban. So he's saying that, yes, Ukraine, as it's called now, very important to be there because it is the buffer zone between us and Russia. That leads us to the understanding that Viktor Orban actually knows the truth about what Russia is doing to Ukraine. And for him, that's a huge barrier to protect us. We don't need the barrier on our border. Let Ukraine be the barrier and let them be destroyed. And, you know, it would be one thing to say that and then you support Ukraine, but it's another thing to say that and you're really indifferent in general by the government and Orban, not the Hungarian people, but Orban and the government that is in power. So we're going to focus on that for the next few minutes on why Orban is saying that he wants Ukraine to stay and be the buffer. Once again, it's because he knows the truth of what is happening in Ukraine. For example, Chernihiv. This is a photo coming in from yesterday. The explosions were massive in the city of Chernihiv. I will show you where it is on the map actually right now. You can see here, I took the northern part of Ukraine for you, northeastern. Green is the nation of Belarus. Red is the nation of Russia. The blue line is Ukrainian sovereign border. So Kyiv there for reference for you guys, outlined in the yellow, is in the dead center left. Chernihiv we're talking about right here with this image. Chernihiv right now struggling significantly with rolling blackouts. Their power grid has been devastated, and not only that, their clean, potable water has been damaged. It is in serious, critical situation right now, and it's only October the 4th. Now, we need to move over. You can see on the right side of the map, the city of Sumy there in the orange, and bottom right, Kharkiv. Of course, Sumy and Kharkiv are under non-stop assaults, and it's easier for Russia to hit those cities because they're close to the border. But just this morning, Russia struck Shostka. Shostka up there in that pocket north of Sumy. And ladies and gentlemen, they struck rail infrastructure, civilians, civilian cars. Now, of course, the Russian media talking about, no, that was a war train. That's a war train full of ammunition coming to the front. No, it was a civilian train. Let me do a couple of videos here, and then I'm going to go a little deeper with this. So let's look at this. Nothing here. There's so much video I couldn't show you. I don't want to be taken off of YouTube, but here, this is some after. So in this one, you're going to be inside the passenger car that has been struck, and then you'll be outside. You hear a lady talking on the phone, not important what she's talking about, and you're going to see, I have the red arrow, and you're going to hear shaheeds still flying over the people, and it's very dangerous because if a shaheed is up here and you see it and hear it, it can instantly dive bomb. It's very, very dangerous. Here it is. This is the official video coming out from the Sumy Oblast region. That is a shaheed. Listen, I won't talk.
Ось він над нами, ось. Якщо що, ми побачимо, подивимо.
Right there in the sky. Now, it's important to see that. I want you to be able to hear. That is exactly what a shaheed sounds like. I've heard it many times with the propeller. That's not the jet version of the Generation 3. That's the typical second version with the basically rotor, like an airplane propulsion from the rear. So you can hear that. Now, Shostka itself was double tapped today, meaning they struck it first, and then when the rescuers arrived, they hit it again. And they did strike with shaheeds and ballistics. So take a look at this. This is one of the regional administrators there talking about Shostka.
Hey, esteemed community, the enemy continues its war against civilians. Today, the enemy struck the railway station in Shostka, where civilians were present at the time. The enemy hit a commuter train, resulting in many injuries. We currently have info on 7 victims taken to the hospital, 1 in critical condition. During rescue operations, they struck the same station again. The attack continues. Recovery and rescue work is ongoing, considering safety measures. An operational HQ has been set up to coordinate joint aid and recovery efforts. Enemy shelling has destroyed parts of Shostka city and district. State authorities with central and local government, emergency services, police, and NGOs are working to manage the aftermath and provide aid.
All right, so that's what's happening, and it's here in this location, Shostka, there. Now, I'm still basing the theme of this update on why Orban would say we want Ukraine to stay there. These are the reasons, because he knows what Russia brings, which is death and destruction. Now, let me give you a little insight today. People have been asking me, Greg, please do a Frontline update. It's coming. We'll do that on a live, so make sure you have the notification bell on. But let me show you some updated video that has come in the last 12 hours or so from a couple of cities, one occupied, one under serious assault. Let's go first to Marinka. Marinka is a town located outside of Donetsk Oblast, and yes, it is occupied now. You can see this lady here. She is the only person still there, and yes, it's under Russian control and Russian occupation. But we were able to get some drone footage out, and you can see Marinka. But let me show you where it is on the map here. For reference, this is Dnipro, this is Zaporizhia, this is the city of Donetsk, which is occupied. This is Slavyansk, Kramatorsk, Druzhkivka, Konstantinivka. We're talking about Pokrovsk all the time. Marinka is right here. And yes, behind Karakova. So yes, I actually want you to see how much damage is done from the air, because I literally wanted to zoom into Google Maps to show you guys what it used to look like before I show you the video. But Google has already updated, and if I come in here to Marinka, right here, you can see it there perfectly, Marinka, outside of Donetsk. The satellites have already updated. Look at this, guys. This is, you can go look at this on Google Maps on your own time. Do you see every building in this city, town, suburb destroyed? Guys, there was an entire city here. Sometimes people come and comment, Greg, you don't know what you're talking about. These cities aren't razed to the ground. Yes, they are. They're leveled completely to the ground. And that's Marinka. Unbelievable. I went in there to show you what it used to look like, and Google has updated. Let's do this. Let's go to this video here on Marinka. Some drone footage, the one lady. No audio here, just there's nothing left. There were these 5 and 9 story apartment buildings everywhere. That's a little bit of what's left. But they're gone. This is why Viktor Orban is saying, you know what? Having Russia doing what they're doing, it's probably important that we have the buffer of Ukraine. And it was interesting, too, he also said that's called Ukraine right now, that's named Ukraine. I don't know. I'm not reading into that, but it's pretty interesting. See what your comments are on that as well. Now, why does Orban want to keep Ukraine there as a buffer? Well, let's look at a city now, Mirnograd, and I'll come over here. Mirnograd is the sister city with Pokrovsk. It is under control of Ukraine, but Russia is assaulting big time. A lot of pressure. It's critical, honestly. High probability of Mirnograd and Pokrovsk falling. It's just the way it is right now. Let's go over here, and I'll make sure you know where this is on the map. So just for reference, when we were talking about Marinka a minute ago, it was right here. So you can see how far behind occupation Marinka is. But we're going to look at this area right here now. I'll zoom in for you. I'll take that off. Pull this over, and Pokrovsk and Mirnograd right here. You can see them. So yes, it's not the best position. We're basically getting a pretty decent pocket around Pokrovsk and Mirnograd, and between confirmed coordinates of where Russian soldiers are located. Confirmed. This is ISW map. Gold means leaning pressure of Russia, but confirmed 12 kilometers is what is separating the Russians here. 12. It's only 12 kilometers. But back to what I want to share with you, and that is the city of Mirnograd here. Sister city with Pokrovsk. Pre-war, you're over 100,000 population here. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, Mirnograd is not occupied, but look at the video coming out of Mirnograd today. It's destroyed. You can see even right here in the front of this video, the dragon's teeth. Ukraine was, prepping to defend it. There's nothing there. It's under nonstop glide bomb, artillery, and drone attacks. And this is a big city, guys, as you can see. The last thing that I do want to share with you guys is, what is Ukraine going to do? Well, both President Vladimir Zelensky and Umerov, who is Defense Council Secretary, has stated, we have no choice now but to escalate and respond in due course. In fact, here it is, this Umerov's statement today. Double taps, Russia focusing more on our electrical grid, gas infrastructure, and now railway infrastructure. What will we do? We will respond in equal measure. This is the same thing President Zelensky said yesterday. Ukraine will scale up strikes on the logistics and fuel infrastructure of the Russian Federation in response to its attacks, said Rustam Umerov, Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council. So everywhere we're looking is escalation. We don't want to see it. We want peace. We want victory for Ukraine, but we're seeing escalation. However, Orban's statements today shows true colors, and I hope that's been confirmed through this video for you guys. He wants Ukraine to stay so that what's happening in Ukraine doesn't come to Hungary. Orban knows the truth. He needs to get on the real train and help Ukraine. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing, liking, commenting, subscribing. We appreciate each and every one of you helping us share the truth. Be blessed.